4 more races is the amount to decide who will finish P2 in the championship. Lights out and away we go for Road Atlanta. Come to turn 1 right now. Morrow is fighting for P4. He's gonna get slammed from Liam. He's going to get the most aggressive approach and restart of them all. Great start though from the Canadian. As in the back, Frosty is making his second race in VMC in the Audi. Right behind Metzen, who didn't get a good start. And Liam dropping back positions. Left and right. That Williams is only good for not that long. It's only good for a slim of a margin. As you see there in the front, Morrow is going to get tapped in the back. And Morrow's going to collect Franco in the Alpine. Through goes Metzen and through goes Frosty. Liam right now trying to hold up P3 for as long as he can. Frosty looks to the inside. Wide goes Liam, and it's going to be a DNF for the Canadian. I believe this is his, God, 5th? Correct me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, he just hits the handbrake and hard hit into the wall. He is okay, though, but it's going to be a sad DNF for the Williams driver. 3 more rounds though to prove if he deserves a seat come next season or if he's going to be stuck in the Fantasy Series. Hard racing into the back in the midfield. Frosty in the Audi trying to defend from the Williams, the Aston, and the Red Bull of Turbo. We haven't seen this guy at all. Back in the good old days of VMC, Turbo was one of the Red Bull boys. But now he's coming back. I think he might make an appearance come next season in Fantasy. Who knows? And I hate how we have a glitch with the liveries for the Cadillac. And speaking of, I guess you can say glitches, there have been some issues regarding glitches in the past few weeks, and it's going to be really close battling into the final chicane. Morrow goes a little wide, through goes Metzen, through goes Turbo. Great hard racing we're seeing from the American Red Bull driver. Kari's now going to replace this seat, or come back to the seat come next season, and is down the inside. Turbo's going to look, forcing Ivan a little wide, and it's going to be even more hard racing. It's going to be a huge crash from Meta to one of our top contenders in the championship, coming into the high speed chicane. Oh, he just loses it, hits the wall. Wait for everyone to come out. And then, yeah, it's not that big, but I think the safety car might come out. It's not that big of a hit. Still sad. Jamo right now coming to the final chicane. Coming out of it right now. He's going to slam on the throttle. He is determined to get the best record in VMC history. Only being held up by that sprint win. That is Franco's. Going to turn 1. Ivan, his best position in VMC right now, is being held up by a veteran. A veteran is beating a rookie. I cannot make this up. As the rookie is going to come onto the outside. He's going to look around the outside. And it's going to not be enough. Turbo's going to go into the grass, holds up Meta, and he goes off the track and loses 3 positions. Meta coming out of the pits right now. V-Carver trying to put him on a good strategy to try and maximize as much positions as possible in this 35 lap race. He's gonna hug the curb, and that's gonna be what causes him to retire. Big slam into the wall, and it's gonna be his retirement out of Road Atlanta today. On board with Ivan, he's been doing really good so far this race. He's been battling with some of the front runners and some of the sport's fastest drivers apart from Jamo. And coming up to the top uphill section, he's still pushing as hard as he can. Coming through the quick left-hander, it's going to be a huge hit, and he's going to follow Meta into the paddock, and that's going to be our third retirement from the race. 2 Williams and a V-carb out of the race so far. Second safety car restart of the day. Franco leading. Frosty P2, Jamo P3, the world champion in P3, may I add. Metzen P4, Turbo P5, Maro P6, and Franco is going to slam on the throttle. Come to turn 1, the world champion's going to look into the inside of the Audi, and he's going to say, don't even think about fighting this. But Frosty is fighting it. The whole group is going to be packed, and the Red Bull driver has to take evasive action, and he's going to go through the runoff and lose all that momentum. Fighting for P3, it's going to be Metz and Frosty and Morrow. These three, more like Metz and Morrow, have been fighting a lot more than we were expecting to see. And Frosty is one of the people who has invited themselves into this fight. And Franco is now fighting the world champion for P1 up in the front. And this track has now granted us one of the best and closest fights we've seen this season so far. Morrow defending from Metzen, Turbo, Frosty. He's looking solid right now. 10 more laps of racing to go. And coming up to the uphill chicane, he's going to lose the rear end. He's going to try and stick it. He's going to be a huge crash. Second crash in a row. Morrow and Metzen are both out of this race. Morrow in complete disbelief. He's been looking solid all weekend long. And his whole world is going to be shattered. And Gavin is officially P2 in the standings. Here's a replay on what happened with Metzen's POV. Mar just cuts across, loses the rear end, and that's a heavy hit. Real heavy hit. And here's Maro's POV. Again, like I said, Maro has lost the opportunity to regain a lead in the championship fight for P2. So he has 3 more rounds to get this back up, or else he's going to settle for P3 after a huge, huge lead on Gavin championship fight for P2. The final safety car today, we all hope at least, is going to be led by a veteran of VMC and a reserved rookie. And we're going to go back to racing. 10 more laps of racing to go. Turbo's going to lead us into turn 1 in the Red Bull. Frosty and the Audi's looking really, really close to where he can get an opportunity. And there it is. Turbo goes wide again. The world champion taking P2. Into the uphill section. The world champion of Jamo is going to look on the outside on Frosty. He's going to try and think about making a move. He backs out. He's going to stay with them though. And Frosty messes up, but he corrects it, and he goes wide right in front of Franco. And Franco's going to slip on by as well to steal P2 from Frosty. Huge battle for P2. The final, or the second place on the podium right now. It's a veteran and a sprint race winner. This is a man who hasn't even touched the SF23 or Gran Turismo in months on end. And this is Franco we're talking about, sprint race winner and a worthy competitor for a seat in the highest ranks in VMC. Turbo's gonna have to serve the 0.5 second penalty. Jammo is going to keep this streak alive and win at Road Atlanta. But the real focus here is if Turbo can get on the throttle quick enough and steal P2 from Franco. And coming out of the final corner for the final time at Road Atlanta, Franco is going to put Alpine back on the podium once again. And it's going to be P3 for the veteran. And Frosty, who made an insane comeback just like Turbo, is going to have to settle for P4, 5 DNFs in one race. Something that we would never think that would happen in a race like this.